Man, y'all know the face, y'all know the name. Y'all tuned into the World's Realest Podcast, Talk Ain't Cheap Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. It's the Boy Cleese Real Talk. And we got a special guest here today, man. Y'all know I don't introduce my guests. You know, when I do that, I feel it's real lackluster. I feel like it's real lackluster. But I got a special guest, someone that's closer to me than a lot of people, someone I consider my brother, someone I have had the honor and the pleasure to see grow and develop into like a mogul in the making, like just someone who's about to change the world. So special guest, please introduce yourself.
Man, you know what it is. It's your boy Big Eli, you know, out here in Dallas, Texas, you know what I'm saying? Big podcaster, big media mogul, you know what I'm saying? I connect the dots where they need to be connected at, what the business is. What up, Clee?
Man, what's popping, brother?
It's been so long since we did this, man. You know what I'm saying? Just sit down and have a good conversation. It's good to see you. You know what I'm saying? And to share this platform with you, man, I'm honored.
The last time we did a podcast together, I messed up your truck.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to start it too, because that was just a day full of so many emotions, man. It was just like, damn, it's like the thing you don't expect to happens. So it's just like, how do I react to this? You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I tell people this story too, from time to time. Like that moment, I feel like it brought us a lot closer together because it was just like, damn, a nigga could have reacted in so many different ways, but you know, niggas chose to, you know, hey, it's just something materialistic. And that moment showed me a lot about myself too, because in life, a lot of shit can always be replaced and stuff like that, but certain friendship bonds and people, you know what I'm saying, certain things you can't mend them relationships once you cross a certain, you know what I'm saying, like you cross a certain boundary. And I knew from that moment, like, I wouldn't cross you or anything like that over something that's materialistic. Like, I wouldn't cross you at all as a person. And I had to, you know what I'm saying? Because where I come from and stuff like that, something like that happened, just like, man, what the fuck? Like, hey, you going to figure out how to pay for this or this and that and everything? That was not the situation. It was like, well, shit. It's just got a little dent in it. We'll figure it the fuck out. Time, you know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. And we did. We took a little minute, found somebody who had a door, found somebody who could do this and do that, put the pieces together. And I vividly remember just that whole like week with that process with you thinking about with the Beyonce scholarship. And
that shit was crazy.
Man, I remember you waking up that morning, like coming and knocking on my door, bro. And this is the first time I seen you like become emotional, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I could tell that shit, it really meant a lot to you, and from a lot of shit that you really been through, you know what I'm saying, to be in that moment and to have the week you've had to come out on top like that, to where out of all the schools in the whole US and around, you was number one with your work that you did for Beyonce. Your paper and everything was seen as the best, which it was. And I was so honored for you. I was happy for you. That moment, like, I just wanted to celebrate with you, because anytime I feel like a man especially becomes emotional about something, it's something that's dear to them. It's something that's close to their heart, and you could tell they put in the effort to make that happen. So that was that week alone was just a week I felt like that brought us closer together as brothers. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that experience, but I've told this story to a couple people and was like, man, that's when me and Cletus like really locked in. And then after it happened, when the wreck like first happened, we literally sat and had a podcast and talked about it. Like, that was the first thing we did. We just sat and talked about it. We was at what was her name? What's her girl name? We was at her house, right?
I mean, right across the street from us.
Yeah. Dang, she gonna kill me if I don't remember her name. It's she used to do my hair.
She had the glasses, and she had the glasses too. It was shorty with the glasses that was kind of cute and was just mad quiet. And home.
It was Robin, and it was somebody else. It was she gonna kill me. I don't know her. I know her name.
It's one of our mans. Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of my mans. Oh yes. Her name started with a J. I just can't think of it.
It's like Janika, Janessa, Janisha.
I'm not even going. I hate that. It's not. I know what it is because she got the pretty eyes. Jerica, that's who it was. We was at Jerica crib, man. I remember that. So that was a moment right there because I remember just like honestly, I don't know if you realized it, but the podcast, it literally like took my mind off it. Us just talking and running it. It was just like it was therapeutic for me, and that was something that that was really helpful at that time because it was other stuff and just life going on in general, but just sitting down, getting to talk and just to vent in general, it just like made me feel better about a lot of different things. So that was just a special moment for sure.
Yeah, I would say we've had a couple of moments and we'll go through it in the podcast that was like, all right, this is going to be like my best friend.
Yeah.
I think definitely when I first met you, and seeing your work ethic with the Wave, I thought was one of those moments as well, because like when you were one of the first people I met at Grambling. Mm-hmm. Like you were coming into the mass comm, you came into the mass comm office. Dr. Morganfield introduced you to me, and next thing you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, he wants to do radio," and I was like, "Oh, bet, like I do radio, let's lock in." And ever since then, you started the Wave, and what was the Wave like for you? Like, what was that time like for you?
It was something that was it kind of helped me grow into Big Eli, like, you know what I'm saying? Because before that, it was just Elijah. You know what I'm saying? I'm B100. That's what it was, and I never was crazy. I was interested in radio always growing up because my favorite show growing up was Martin. I used to love watching that, and he used to just. How he used to be on the radio, it used to be lit to me, and I used to listen to Q93 growing up in New Orleans. So it just so happened I was going through my majors and stuff like that, and it was a summer course I was taking, but it was in the Mass Comm building, and I met Mr. Black, and he's just telling me, come by the studio sometime, man, and stuff like that, because he was one of my teachers for the course, and I was just like, man, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm just trying to low-key get my refund and get to moving around. I don't really care to be around like that because I done changed about 3 different majors already. It's my sophomore year. I don't know what I want to do. And he was just like, man, just come by and kick it sometimes in the studio. And just one day I was just bored and I slid through there, said I was going to stay for like 20 minutes. I stayed for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? And I started making my way around there more like twice a week than just hanging around. And he was just asking, man, like, you ever thought about doing radio? I was like, I liked it always growing up. That was something I always felt was cool and stuff. He was like, well, I think you should give it a shot. I'm like, nah, I don't see myself doing that. He was like, well, I'm going to give you a shot. I want you to come up with a name. I want you to do this and do that, and I'm going to let you do your first episode Thursday. Me never doing this before. I was just like, well, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? This is not even my major at the time. I'm like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I've been around him, like, at that point the whole summer, and he was just like, give it a try. You know what I'm saying? So from that point, that's when the Wave was created. And shout out to DJ. He was one of the first people that, like, break me in with it because I was like a nervous wreck. I still got the video on my phone, and from that moment, it was just like, I fell in love with it once the jitters. The first 10 minutes got out the way. I was like, man, I like this. This actually, it became therapy for me to be able to talk and vent. Cause me, I always used to let out any stress or anything like that by playing sports. I stopped playing sports after high school. So in college, I didn't really have no getaway. Getting behind the mic became that getaway, and I felt that same feeling from when I used to feel when I used to suit up and get ready to go play football. So it was just like, man, now I get excited before I get to do a show. I get to, you know what I'm saying? It's that same adrenaline. So that's what kind of created the Wave and created me going into this field of podcasting and everything like that.
What makes you special to me is your ability to like take emotional, like just take a situation and your energy, your emotion, your perspectives. Like you have a very unique perspective when it comes to stuff, and it's like you're like the southern, like you're like a southern Charlemagne the God. Like obviously Charlemagne from the South, but like you like a real southern like You give like Steve. You could be Steve Harvey. You could be Cedric. Like you could do so many different things when it comes to podcasting. So that's what I thought was really dope with you. And I thought what also was really dope was how you went about planning your shows. What's the process of planning a good episode for a podcast or for a show?
The process, I feel like, of planning a good show is to have a little something for everybody. Now, at the end of the day, you won't please everybody with all the content that you do, but to have a variety of different things to where people can kind of pick and choose, okay, I like this part. Like, there's certain people that watch certain podcasts just for certain parts. Like, certain people watch Charlamagne the God just for Donkey of the Day. That's a very small segment, but at the end of the day, I just want to see who the Donkey of the Day is. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part you could tune in for. So it's like, at the end of the day, when you having a segment like how I did with The Wave, I always made it about hot topics first, because a lot of people want to know what's going on currently, things like that. I wanted to create it to where it was like a diverse genre of music from current and past hip hop and R&B with a little bit of Afrobeat, which I started getting introduced to from you. You know what I'm saying? So the music can change the vibe any time of the day. And then you had HBCU Confessions, where you was talking about things that us as college students and college students from across the U.S. were thinking about, and stuff they was going through. Just like how on the Steve Harvey Show, they had the Strawberry Letter, and they would look for advice like how to deal with a situation like that, which some situations are like literally insane, but at the same time, it's life. It's something that people go through. So strategically, when planning out a show, if you have at least 3 to 4 different things to where it's like segments or different types of content within one, I feel like you can at least grasp a good audience, because you have a variety of things people might like to talk about. Because certain people might not like to talk about the sports side of stuff. So then if you're talking about music, or if you're talking about pop culture, or if you're talking about, you know, religion or whatever you're talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, have a segment that's dedicated for certain people that like to talk about certain things. So I always feel like diversifying a show makes a show great.
Very dope. When you were coming up, who were some of the people that inspired you?
It's so funny because, like I said, Martin was one of the first people that inspired me to ever think about doing radio. Just watching that show growing up. When I look at like people like Big Boy's Neighborhood, that was something I found very interesting growing up, because I used to always hear about that. Tom Joyner was something I always heard, listening and growing up to. And everybody knows the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Like when my mom used to take me to school early in the morning, we ride and we might stop in McDonald's and get something to eat, or like a little breakfast sandwich or her coffee. You hearing the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You're hearing the prank calls in the morning. The prank calls early in the morning used to be hilarious, because it'd be like, these people really get upset, start cussing, everything like that. And it just was like, man, like, that's funny. Like, it will make you smile going to work, knowing, like, especially like if you didn't like your job, that'll put a smile on your face before going into work. You know what I'm saying? Just to laugh at something. It can make your day better. Somebody could be going through something traumatic that day, and now you just made them crack a smile by them listening to what you just did or the prank you just done. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like radio is theater of the mind, and it's something that you can change somebody's perspective from them listening to. Like, I never thought I'd get to a point to where I go to sleep listening to like Clubhouse or podcasts. Like, I don't have to see nothing, but I just hear the talking. I hear the conversation, and it soothes me to sleep. Like, honestly, and I've never used to be like that. But as I done got more into radio and podcasting, I found that it's a niche, and it's something that I enjoy, and it helps me in general. People understand how big podcasting and just talking helps. Even if you're not the one talking, just listening helps. You know what I'm saying? And it might not even have a subject dealing with something you're going through or anything like that in life, but just listening to people talk about different things, conversations, whether it's messy, entertaining, newsworthy, funny, you know, it's content at the end of the day, and it's something that can, I feel like, make your day better. You know what I'm saying? Help your day go by faster. You know, just get you through a day. And that's how I feel about podcasting.
So So you're originally from New Orleans.
Originally from New Orleans. After Hurricane Katrina, we moved up north to Arcadia. It's a little country town next to Grambling, like about 45 minutes from Shreveport. After the hurricane, because we lost our home, so we had to move with my grandma and them and everything in Arcadia.
What was that time like? Like, what was Hurricane Katrina like? Because a lot of people was seeing the impact of Hurricane Katrina online or through television, but you actually lived through it. What was that time like, and what did Hurricane Katrina like? How did Hurricane Katrina impact you?
Hurricane Katrina impacted a lot, honestly, because as I was young, I could vividly remember literally like being in the shelters, sleeping on the cots. I remember this conversation. We was in one shelter. It was like in like Alexandria or something like that, and my mom was talking to this lady in the shelter, and she lost everything, like her family, everything. She was the only one left, and my mom was talking to her, and she was just like trying to calm her down and tell her like, "Hey, things will get better. We all going through something." And then she was like, "Man, I appreciate you being here, this and that and everything like that." And she was like, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Well, don't be hurt when you hear my name, but my name is Katrina." You know what I'm saying? And the woman started breaking down crying, but she hugged my mom, and she was just like very emotional at that moment. And I remember that whole time we was in the shelter, her and my mom became like some of the closest like friends. But during that process, when Hurricane Katrina first happened, like I remember literally they had to like get us out of there first off, because the water started coming in kind of crazy. Because usually for hurricanes, we would stay at home. We would think like, okay, it's gonna be a big storm, it ain't gonna be nothing. But since the levees broke, that changed everything. And when it flooded the city, they had to get us all out of there. I remember going from shelter to shelter, and then eventually we got to Texas with some like other family I've never met before. You know, that's when you start learning about the family members and cousins that you ain't never met or seen. And we all having to stay in their house and everything like that. And that was a crazy experience. And then they tried to start making us go to school like a couple months after that, because we was missing out on so much. And I was when I started going to school in Texas, a lot of New Orleans kids was there too. And I ain't gonna lie, we got in trouble so much. I got kicked out of, it was a school called Shadow Briar. I got kicked out like after the second week. I got into too many fights. I was just getting into like a lot of trouble. But it was like, we was looked at as like outcasts. Like everybody was like, well, look at them New Orleans kids. They go to them, them evacuees. So we always got real defensive. And like we stayed in our little groups. But every time somebody said something crazy, we ready to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I didn't make it long. And a couple other kids got kicked out of school too. And like, I never was like a bad kid. Like, I never was like that kid that was like always getting into trouble. I've had fights and stuff like that. But that time period, you had a lot of emotions, because you're seeing your mom, you're seeing your family sleep on cots, move from shelter to shelter. You stand in the house full of cousins and people that you really don't know, trying to make it, and then you go to school where you feel like you're gonna be safe at, and then everybody teasing you, everybody, you know what I'm saying? They looking at you like, oh, y'all, y'all don't belong here, this and that. And like, okay, I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't going through what I'm going through, so, and I don't know how to take it out, so I'm gonna take it out on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that was an experience I remember vividly from Hurricane Katrina. And eventually, once things started kind of clearing up and getting a little better, we went to recover what we can, which we didn't have much of. And then after that, that's when we relocated and moved with my grandma in Arcadia. So Hurricane Katrina was definitely like an experience. And it can go deeper, but that's just like the overview of it mainly from what I've experienced.
Most definitely. So what was your life in Arcadia like?
Ooh, that's so crazy, because Arcadia was a funny place, because when I first got there, I was like, hell no. Like, wait, this is where y'all stores at? Like, I've never experienced the country before. I've always been in the city. So I'm like, bro, why it take so long to get everywhere? Like, like how you was when you first got the Gremlin. Like, bro, what the fuck? How do y'all survive? Like, this don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I want to go back home. I'm telling my mom and stuff like that. She's like, well, this is our home now. We can't do this and that and everything. I'm like, man, I can't do this, bro. Like, I was like, because I'm getting older and I'm thinking like, okay, boom. I'm not used to this. But it's ironic because when I first got down there, like the second day, I met my friend. I met my friend out there the first day, and his name was JR, and he was my next door neighbor. And when I met JR, it was crazy because I had like this one toy at the time. It was one of them big beach balls, like one of them big tie-dye balls that you can bounce and it goes super high in the sky. So we out there playing and everything like that, and he bust my ball. So I got mad. Like, I was like, bro, why you bust my ball, bro? That's all I, had and everything like that. He was like, my bad, I ain't mean to bust your ball, this and that and everything like that. So I'm a kid. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, man, you gonna buy me another ball? You owe me a big beach ball, like, And so he like, man, my bad, I ain't mean to bust your ball, bro, like, and stuff like that. But I remember that's how me and him became cool, and that was one of like my best friends and first people I met in Arcadia. And we used to go to the park, hoop and everything like that. And I haven't talked to him yet. Because it's been a minute, and right now he is facing like 25 years for something he did, you know what I'm saying? And that's another story for another day. But it's like, at the end of the day, it was Arcadia at first, like, it was just something that I was not prepared for. Literally the first day of school, I got into a fight. When you go sit in the bleachers and then they assign you to what class you going to, like, I fought the biggest person in the class the first day, because I was just like, I don't know, I was full of a little bit of rage and stuff like that, so any little thing could tick me off, you know what I'm saying? So the first day we was at PE, we playing dodgeball and stuff across from each other, and you got to go pick up the ball and this and that, and so the big dude, his name was Qualms. He was like, he failed like 3 times. So he like supposed to be 3 grades higher than us. Big swole motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And me and Kwame ain't cool to this day. But not at the first day, he took the ball from me, bro. And I'm like, bro, give me the ball back. I'm trying to throw it. And then he threw my ball. So then I just stuck him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we started scrapping in there to break us up and everything like that. And it was a crazy, like, just, my grandma was like, why are you fighting the first day of school? I'm like, Grandma, he took my ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to let nobody take nothing from me and all this other stuff. And they kind of gave me some leeway. They was like, they kind of like was like, we know you going through a lot and this and that and everything, and it's an adjustment for you, but you can't react like that and all that other stuff. But like I said, Arcadia was just a whole different experience in general.
So after you and Kwame was beefed out, did y'all ever get cool, or how? Like, I know y'all say y'all cool like now, but like, what was that process like? Cause usually when brothers fight, after a while, sometimes it really be on site for a long time.
You know what's so funny? The thing is, I met Kwame before we went to the first day of school, and how I met Kwame, my grandpa hired him and his people to build me and my little brother a trampoline in the backyard. That's when I first met him, but I didn't like take time to talk to him or meet him or anything like that. So once we had the fight, he was like, I know where you stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come get you. I know where you stay. This and that. And so I'm like, whatever, you know where I stay, come on. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that the next time, like, we've like saw each other and stuff like that, it really wasn't nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, what's up? And then he was just like, what's up? Like, it wasn't no beef or anything like that. It was just a heated moment where stuff kind of got out of hand, and we probably just didn't realize that we was just like, hey, like, we really did too much. But at the same time, we literally had a fight over a dodgeball. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess at a young age, we kind of realized that was too much. And you gotta think, he was like He's failed. I ain't gonna say he failed 3 times, but he was held like back 3 times. So he wasn't even supposed to be in the grade with me. So you gotta think how I look compared to him. He supposed to been in like 9th grade. I'm in 6th. He supposed to be a freshman. I'm in 6th grade. I'm just getting into middle school. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't really take it like that serious to where he wanted to fight me every day. Because we had a couple fellas in that 6th grade class that was supposed to be in like either 8th or 9th. Like when we had our middle school basketball team, we was cheating because we had boys on there. I'm talking about going coast to coast, dunking. I'm like, man, hold up. I'm on the bench at the time because I'm like, I'm big, but I'm like, I thought they were some of the coldest players I've ever seen. Like man, bro, our team's so cold. Like I'm on the sideline. But I had to realize they supposed to be freshmen. So, but yeah, it was like never no beef after that. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. It was cool.
So how did you navigate high school? Because you also about to play football in Australia.
Yes. So high school, I wanted to be the basketball player so much more than I wanted to be a football player. But my school, my friends, everybody pushed me with football so much. It was just like I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? My school was known for basketball though. Like the years I was there from freshman to senior, we was number 1 in state like 3 out of 4 of them years, like in basketball. Like we was always going to the championship, things like that. We was a small 1A school, but we always had hoopers. That's what we did. I was never a starter. I was always like off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because we had good hoopers. Like we had people coming across half court, they pulling it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was lit. So when I come in, I give me maybe like 2 or 4 points. You know, that was it. I was more of like, I ain't gonna say an enforcer, but like defense, rebound, big body. Kendrick Perkins. I'm the Kendrick Perkins of the team. I'm not gonna front like I was out here like LeBron and then I was the KP. You feel me? Hey, I was the KP. So yeah, when we did that, I got into football my sophomore year. Sophomore year I was playing because my freshman year I was gonna play. But we had some dogs out there. And I was like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, when you're a young person going to a high school football team as a freshman, you go out there and the first thing you see is Oklahoma drill. And you see these boys out here losing their helmets, fighting, everything. You like, I'm going to the gym, coach. I'm going to the gym.
They got AC in there.
Yeah. I'm going to the gym. And it's hot in the summer. Nah, y'all can have this, boy. I was like, nah. But then sophomore year, I finally started getting out there. And they introduced me the tough way. Like, the coach set me up for the first time. I didn't know what he did behind my back, but he told this dude named Mario, he was like our best player. He was a DM. He was like, Mario, he's like, dude, he did this to Mario. I didn't know what that meant. And everybody else around the team knew what that meant. So when Mario hit me, it's like he rammed me up and he knocked my helmet clean off my head, bro. And I was just laid out flat. And he was just like, welcome to football. Like, and I was like, damn, nigga just knocked the fuck out of me. Like, bro, I want a low-key fight, bro. Like, why you, like, you ain't had to do me. And I'm a big nigga at this. I'm sophomore. I'm still like, I'm like 260. I'm a big boy. You know what I'm saying? And he put me on my ass, like, flat. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of introduced me to that feeling. And then from there, I was just determined to get better, you know what I'm saying, work on everything. I played both sides my whole football career, D tackle and then left tackle on offense. So I played both sides. So with us being a 1A school, a lot of players had to do that because we might only have a 35-person team, a 30-person team, because most of our people at our school want to play basketball. Everybody want to be a hooper. And half the hoopers got to come and try to help us play and be skill positions. So we have to really make it work when it came to like playing sports. But football, it taught me a bond that really a lot of people won't really understand unless you played it. Like life skills. Like the coaches that we had, bro, like I always remember Coach Rob. This man, he kind of was crazy, but he'll motivate you, bro. He used to come out there and work out with us, run the routes with us, everything. when we complaining about it's hot, he would say it's a mind thing. It's cold like out here. And he'll go put on a hoodie and come out there and work out with us like it's crazy. Like it's 100 degrees for real. He talking about, y'all talking about it's hot. It's cold out here to me. I don't need no water. What y'all need water for? Like he used to try to psych us out until somebody be damn near ready to pass out. You know what I'm saying? But he was that type of coach. And I hate this to this day because my junior year, Coach Rob got fired like after our season because we literally lost we went like 2-8. Like we had a bad season. And it was so weird because Coach Rob really built us up. And senior year, we went to the playoffs and we won the first round. So we went from literally in 1 year not even contending to making the playoffs and beating a team that we wasn't even supposed to beat in the playoffs on the road. And it was just like, damn, why we couldn't do this for Coach Rob? You know what I'm saying? Even though the coach we had, big black motherfucker from Farmerville, he was cool, but he was more aggressive and stuff like that. But Coach Rob was just the soul of what we was doing. He built us up. He kind of was like the dude from the Warriors.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. He built us up for Steve Kerr to come in and then take it over from that point. Because when I was a senior, our quarterback was a sophomore. All our skilled players were freshmen. So we had a young core. But our whole O-line and D-line was seniors and juniors and like everything like that. So like we had a veteran line with a bunch of young players. You know what I'm saying? Which was decent, but you know, you could tell the little mistakes the skilled players would make because they were young. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much linemen can do at that point because we had a big ass line. You met Big Wody, right?
Of course.
Yeah, Big Wody. It was me, Big Wody, this nigga named Smokey, this nigga named Booby.
Y'all sound like some killers. 6'8" and above, 336 pounds.
Because Wody was the biggest one. I was the second biggest. Then you had Smokey. Then you had Booby. And then you had this dude named Adrian. They call him Sweet Feet because he was quick on his feet. Like, and so we that was our team, man. We was our line. I say about a good 1,000 pounds, maybe a little bit more, like maybe like 1,100.
Damn.
Everybody was big as hell. So football was very lit for me. And they made me stop playing basketball my senior year. Cause they was like, bruh, you got chances for scholarships and things like that. You don't need to be out here hooping and stuff like that. So when I was training for basketball, we ran to the track one time and had to do like some like a warm-up run. The football players, this was my like junior year, about to go into my senior year, the season over. They was like, I'm out there running with the basketball team, but my football team is out there in spring training getting ready for my senior year. They're like, Coach, look at your captain over there. Look at him. He want to run around in a cool ass gym. Yeah. Look at this basketball player. Look at this hooping ass nigga. This your captain, Coach. And they like, look at him. Like they laughing at me and shit. And I swear I remember I went up to that gym after that. I finished that practice and I said, you know what? That was the last day. And after that, I went back to the field house the next day. I said, man, let's start with the spring training. Let's get ready for senior year. And I stuck with football the rest of the time. I didn't play my senior year because I was gonna play, but they was on my head. They was like, nah, you need to focus on football. And they made me feel bad about it. So it was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be the leader and I'm gonna come out here and be getting it in with y'all. Let's do it. So
how'd you get to Australia?
So how I got to Australia. So when I was playing, like I said, I played for a very small school, but Louisiana is very small itself. So anybody that's like talented, say if you made all district, all whatever and stuff like that, it stands out pretty much. Cause if you're what happened with me, like I said, we went from literally winning 2 games to winning our division the senior year and winning the first round playoff game, which we haven't even made it to the playoffs in years. So that was very big for our school. And then we had to play the number 1 team in state right after that. And I was just, like I said, I was a two-way player. And I was almost getting a sack a game, but I was blowing up the middle. You had to double team me a lot almost every time. And then on offense, I was not really letting too many people touch my QB. So I was doing my job. I was pancaking middle linebackers. My stats were very solid. And I'm going to be honest. It was a list of people that can go that was before me. I was selected as a replacement in case somebody couldn't go. That was selected on the Louisiana list. And one of the players could not make it. And so they called me up and they sent, because it was only like 4 of us from Louisiana. 3 of us was linemen. Shit. And one of them was like a DB, because the quarterbacks was from like California. The receivers was from Florida. Goddamn. Like, it was players from all over the U.S. and everything. So it was just like us linemen. They had this boy that was 6'7", from Louisiana. He was like from like the country. And when I tell you this big motherfucker was tough, because when we was going over there to train and stuff to prepare to play their national team and stuff, he was a big motherfucker to deal with. I'm like, God damn. I thought I was big, but he was. I'm talking about, if he get them big ass maul hands on you, he getting you out the way. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope just to have that experience. And so, like I said, I got selected as a replacement. So I was able to go, because one of the boys, his college, they was like, he's not going to be able to call him, because he's going to start like summer training, like, and everything with them. So boom. I was like, shit, I'm going then. Shit. Australia, I might not ever get a chance to go to Australia in my life. This is an opportunity that's free, that's going to be paid for, living and everything like that, to go out there and do what I love to do, which was playing football. So I went out there. That shit was an experience, bro. They treated us like celebrities. Like, we was able to go to club hopping. And you got to think, I ain't shit but like 18, 17 out there. We was in the Gold Coast. And it was just... It was beautiful. It was the whole experience, from getting on the plane, being on there for 16 hours. We're like in the big ass planes. They got the second floor and shit. Like, everything was just, that was a very like memorable time for me, to say an experience that I was able to enjoy and everything, and then go out there and perform how we did, because we beat the shit out their national team. They started putting us against each other, like, as like on some fun shit, like, and everything like that, because they national team couldn't fuck with us. You got these players, and I still got my bro Drake. He from Houston. He was a QB. Man, this dude right here was one of the swollest people I've ever seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he had the QB position. Fast, strong, like everything. And he was a dope ass motivator. He was like one of our team captains and stuff. And it was just a good ass experience at the end of the day, and very fun. And I never could take something like that back. And just having that experience of being out there, cars driving on the opposite side of the road, the food is different, like everything. It's like they got the stuff we got, but it's different names to it. Everything is different. Like, Burger King ain't called Burger King over there. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different name, but it's the same type of food. Like, it's interesting. So, but yeah, that was an amazing experience.
No, I'm happy for you, because I feel like you've had a lot of different experiences that are not traditional to Louisiana men.
At all. A nigga like, man, shit. Man, I know niggas that ain't never left the boot yet to even go to Texas or like Alabama, Arkansas. There's motherfuckers that been in Louisiana their whole life. Shit. Like, niggas ain't got the opportunity to leave. You know what I'm saying? Let alone making the decision themselves. Oh, I'm gonna just go out of town for the weekend. Like, niggas don't got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if they do got it, shit, where I'm gonna go? What I'm gonna do? Like, they don't have that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was blessed to get the experience things that I got to experience, because it opened my mind to a lot of different things too. I wasn't just caged into like a Louisiana lifestyle, you know. And once I got a taste and the exposure of a different lifestyle, like a lot of the things you showed me in college, like when it came to traveling, that made me want more. That made me want to, like, way more. Like, the world is bigger than the fucking Grambling in Louisiana. The world is way bigger. So, like, yeah.
So, speaking about traveling, because that was the second thing that I felt like really got us really close. Where was your favorite place that you've traveled to thus far?
Sheesh. Honestly, I would say, honestly, the Bay was the littest, but Miami was dope too. I feel like it's like Because what happened with Miami, it was like you know what trip I'm talking about, the one we went to Atlanta and then Miami. Because we've been to Miami like what, twice? Yeah.
Twice.
The time we was in Miami, for that time, it wasn't supposed to happen. But it happened out the blue, and the experience itself was just lit all around. That was lit, but I feel like the Bay was one of a kind, because we went out there and I got to see you do your thing on a big scale, nigga. You pulled up to a club that you was throwing a party at on a bus full of people that already bought tickets to come to your event. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think nigga, you got a bunch of people on a bus to pull up to your party. Like, y'all rode there on a big bus full, like, that shit was crazy to me. Pulling up to a building that line is wrapped all the way around, called Welcome to the Bay. And like, y'all boys did that shit on such a big scale, nigga. I'm just a guest here, like, and my eyes are just wild like golf balls. Like, damn, my nigga lit. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, this is a dope ass experience. And then to tie it all up with another party, like last minute, like, let's do something in Oakland now, type shit. Right before we had to catch our flight, like, niggas was in Oakland at that point and like threw a big ass party that was like, I don't remember where it was at. I thought it was a venue, but it seemed like a garage too. It was like
it was a biker club.
A biker club. Like, that shit was crazy. Like, packed wall to wall. You know what I'm saying? I came out my shirt in that bitch. I'm realizing, goddamn, it's like 2, 3 in the morning and our flight leaving in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? We in that bitch lit. Bruh, I've never experienced no shit like that, Clee. And when I tell you, bro, that was probably one of the best experiences of, like, I've ever had, because I've never did no shit like that. And I've went to hella parties and stuff like that, but the way you did it, on the scale you did it, like, that shit, it made me put a lot of respect on your name for the shit that you do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hold you to such a high standard, not just because of the person you are, but, you know, the magnitude of the level you've done things. Like, niggas can't do that. Niggas not throwing parties outside of their city, let alone state. Miles from all the way from the East Coast to the West on a scale that big, to where you got people organized, staying at the hotels, on buses, flying in from everywhere, network through the what was that conference thing?
ABC.
Yeah, like the people love you there, bruh. Like, and not just that too, like the college experience when we went there to go to UC Berkeley and just be on the campus and shit like that. That shit was all dope. I vividly remember all that shit. Like, the shit was crazy. And
you had a dope experience because you also got to go to the Golden State Bridge.
Man, what? I got to be a tourist. I got to be with the most important nigga in the building, you feel me? To enjoy it hands-on, see and meet people. Like old boy and them. Like, I met some of the coolest people that you knew. Like, old boy that's a noob now. I forgot Nige. I think that's his name. Nigel with the dreads, the twist.
Yeah.
Cool as hell. Fun. That nigga be dancing. Cool as hell. Then you got Buddy the Iota. Nick Fury. I'll never forget that name, boy. Nick Fury. That guy, bro. That guy there is lit, man. And he can DJ his ass off and he be turned. And so, like, I met some really good people. And then Buddy too, that was the Sigma. Marcus. Dope ass guy. Like I said, just you connecting all the dots with these people like that, bro, I thought was just so dope. And how they embrace you, you could tell you meant a lot to them just as much as they meant a lot to you. And you've established great relationships with them people. And ever since that, I've always wanted to establish my relationships with people moving forward like that, to where, damn, any city I come to, I'm good because of my relationships. People love when I come and enter my city, or enter their city. You know what I'm saying? I'm embraced with love. That showed me a lot. That helps me today with building my relationships with people, like being just a good person. You know what I'm saying? Being genuine and everything like that. Because I've seen it firsthand going out with you.
One thing I love about you, what I respect about you, is that you value relationships. Like, you put value on relationships and having a good face card over, like, money.
Of course. I can not have $1 in my pocket, but I can get into this room that you can't get into, and you over here got 6 figures. It's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna say it's something to be proud of not to have $1 in your pocket, but it's just a scenario of saying that that's how much I value it. You know what I'm saying? Because relationships is everything, bro. Like, especially in this industry that we're in, bro, it's who you know. That's what's gonna get you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Mostly everybody got money. Nobody don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's who you know, what like type of person you is. Do I want to surround my energy around somebody that I know is not like this or like that? You know? So I really value that. Like, I spend my all to establish a relationship with somebody that can further, like, give me an opportunity to level up. Now, not saying I'm trying to establish a relationship with somebody just for an opportunity, but in general, establish a relationship because I want to see how, at the end of the day, I can benefit you, you can benefit me. I want it to be a two-way street. I don't never want to come to somebody and just be like, oh, I just want to network with you because I feel like you can help me. No, I want to build a relationship with somebody I feel like is genuine, from an associate that I've known you've been genuine with before, and I want to extend that olive branch because I always feel like I got something to offer, no matter what it is. Like, so at the end of the day, I never just seem to like come to somebody empty-handed with anything. So that's why I always want to establish relationships no matter who is with. I don't give a damn if 50 Cent in the room, or I don't give a damn if this motherfucking janitor that just got off his job in the room. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? I'm gonna treat you with the same respect. I'm not gonna treat you no different than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. That janitor might be the owner of this bitch one day. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta look at shit like that because that shit real. Like, motherfuckers that you go to school with that thought they was the baddest and hottest shit, main one out on drugs right now and not doing shit with theyself.
It's true.
I was the motherfucking, when I went to Arcadia in school like that, bro, all I did was play sports and stay out the way. I wasn't the coolest nigga at my school. You know what I'm saying? I was very mid. I was quiet. I was a nerd, low key. I was just playing my game, playing sports. I didn't really, you know what I'm saying, develop into Big Eli until college. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody from my high school and stuff like that, they look up to me. They reach out to me. Bro, we so proud of you, this and that and everything like that. But I was the same nigga in high school, you know what I'm saying? Everybody spoke to me, it was cool, but I wasn't the most popular. I wasn't this or that, like, you know what I'm saying? But now everybody look at me like, damn, how he with that? How he doing that? You know what I'm saying? He look like he living good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that's why I always look at that, because I'm a prime example of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a prime example of nigga not having, like, being that type of nigga and then developing into that type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like on no bragging shit or nothing like that, because at the end of the day, this shit just come from being consistent and working and following your dreams and changing your circle sometimes. A lot of people don't realize that, and I'm not afraid to talk about it, but I have friends that still reach out to me today that are a part of like that circle that put me in a dark space. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard not to just communicate with them, because I don't want to feel like I'm a person that's like, I'm in a better position or nothing like that to where I can talk to you. No, I'm still talk to you, but at the same time, I can't be on the same type of timing that you're on, especially if you're on the same type of time and in the same type of environment and things like that. I got 2 kids in the family. Like, it's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't see me with the same people I hung out with in high school and college, it's because I outgrew them people. And not outgrowing them in the way of like they're not on the level of what, but just mentally and in the mindset of things I want to accomplish and be around. Like, people don't understand. I talk to my bro Z every other day. Z is on a different mindset than a lot of people I know. And he's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? But he has a mindset to just be great and successful. You know, and he doesn't give up, and he stays consistent with everything he do. Whether he gets 10 views on it or 100,000, he stays very consistent. And people like that, that's determined no matter what, and not afraid to take risk, that's people I want to be around. The people that, you know, at the end of the day, understand that shit, we might lose it all trying to get there. But God damn it, at the end of the day, we're gonna get it all back and try it again. Can't be afraid to fail. That's the type of people I would like to be around. So yeah. So your circle does change as you get older and stuff like that and grow. But yeah.
So who's EAZY WHIRL and what's the difference between EAZY WHIRL and Big Eli?
So Big Eli is always the family. Like, if you came across me as Big Eli, and it's crazy because I still got to get adjusted to when people call me Easy, because there's some people like my cameraman, B White, a couple of people, they call me Easy, and I be still having to adjust to it. But Big Eli was an era of me, which I still am at the end of the day, no matter what. It's stamped on me. But that's the family. You knew me at a point in my life where I was growing into really branding myself and growing into a person that I know I want to be. EAZY WHIRL is the overall brand of what I'm building. And so when I say when people call me Easy or anything like that, that's the entertainer. That's the person that's gonna be podcasting. That's the person that is, you know what I'm saying, having the clothing line and everything like that. Kind of like when people, you know what I'm saying, when people you hang around call you a certain name that a lot of people haven't ever heard them call you. You know what I'm saying? It's because they wasn't around the moments where, you know, that was relevant. When your life was just going how it was going. Now that I'm wanting to brand myself and make stuff under an umbrella, Easy is with EAZY WHIRL. So thinking out loud, when I start doing the radio overnight, that segment is going to be called EAZY WHIRL because I'm giving you experience of what that's like from 12 to 6. Thinking out loud, you're talking to Easy when we doing like the questions and everything like that. The clothing brand with the chaotic world where it's bright on one side and it's dark on the other and it's everything like that. It expresses me because I feel like my life is chaos at the same time. It's a beautiful thing because chaos creates change. You know what I'm saying? Chaos never looked this good because at the end of the day, we go out here and put on a poker face every day for the world when in the inside, everything could be going wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like once you create a brand that speaks volumes of who you are in general, that's how you can attach it to who you are. So it's always Big Eli, but Easy is the brand. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. And just moving forward, anything that deals with that type of stuff, that's what it's like addressed as. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's overall.
Very dope, very dope. And Thinking Out Loud podcast.
Yes, Thinking Out Loud podcast. This was an idea I've had for a long, long time. I've always just been so hesitant to step out due to a lot of things, money, setup, everything like that, which at the same time it still is not the most affordable thing to do, but at the same time it's something that I kind of put on the level of as my therapy, as my peace, and something that I enjoy doing. I love sitting here talking to somebody, picking somebody's brain, and I wanted to create a platform that we can get on here and we discuss the things we think about but we never talk about. Because things run through our head all day. Like all type of crazy shit, weird shit, educational shit. We don't never talk about it because we afraid what people are going to say. So you know what I'm saying? I like to always throw something out there that's going to make you be like, damn, what made you ask me that? Type shit. And I just want to see your perspective on it. Because I'm pretty sure it's one time in your life you thought about that. But you ain't never speak on it or anything like that. So it's just like, that's little shit, like how I would ask somebody, I went and did some stuff on the streets the other day. If you had to assassinate your husband or wife, how would you do it? So like in general, if you had to go about not trying to incriminate nobody, but Cletus, if you had to assassinate your wife, how would you go about assassinating your wife?
By poisoning her food.
And see, most people will say, okay, boom, that's what I'll do. I'll do this and that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, damn, so you'll really think about poisoning or doing something like that. But at the end of the day, what if you're faced with that decision? Like, what if you had to sacrifice your child for your religion? Would you do it? You know, it's certain things that you'll really just, it'll pick your brain and be like, damn, would I do some shit like that? Would I not do some shit like that? I claim to be this type of person, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't go to that far extreme for that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is different when it comes to something that can pick people's brains. And that's what thinking out loud is, bro. It's about really just having them fun, enjoyable conversations that kind of make you laugh, that kind of make you think, that kind of make you like, what the fuck? Like, that's what thinking out loud is. And that's how I want the platform to be perceived. I'm not trying to be like fucking $1 million worth of game where I'm giving you motherfucking advice on how to, you know, do this with your money. Even though we can have stuff we talk about like that, but I want my show to be very diverse for almost anybody that can be a guest on there. It's not specifically structured to one type of audience. Like Club 520 podcast about sports athletes. Mm-hmm. Mine's not directed for that. I can have a normal 9-to-5 worker on here one day. I can have a goddamn voodoo lady on here the next day. I can have an artist on here the day after. It can be anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're going to think out loud and we're going to discuss almost anything in the world that's kind of interesting and intriguing to talk about. Because I like to read my guests and then come up with a different scenario of how I would want to ask them questions about certain things.
I love that. I think it's dope. You know who I think would be really dope on your podcast?
Talk to me.
Comedians.
Comedians?
Oh, man. Because I feel like comedians have like a very unique sense of humor. Uh-huh. And like just being able to get the right comedians on the platform. Like if you get like an Ali Sadiq, he's coming to Dallas, I think in September or late August. You should try to get Ali Sadiq on the podcast.
How much he be charging?
I don't know, but maybe he might do you a favor.
Okay. He sound like he got an African name?
Nah, so Ali Sadiq is a comedian, I think from Texas.
Oh, from
Texas. That built up. We can watch a couple of his stuff later on after we get off the pod. But he basically built up his platform by just doing these long form comedy series about what happened, how he went to jail, and he was in jail for like a couple, like 15, 20 years, and what jail is like. And, you know, he does like a lot of comedy shows in prisons and stuff like that. So, yeah, like I think he'd be really dope because like his style of comedy is really, you know, it's not dark, but it's real. And I feel like the kind of perspectives that you on, you're not like Joe. You're not on some Joe Rogan shit, mm-hmm. But you know you definitely have that in you as well. Like, bro, you're very talented at what you do, bro.
I appreciate that, brother. Man, you just don't know. Them words of affirmation is very big too. Like, just because I ain't gonna lie, I'm human. I get depressed. I get in my head. I think days, man, is this shit really worth it? But then sometimes I just see the results, and it's honestly, I ain't gonna lie. People keep me motivated to do it. Like I'm very hard on myself when it comes to self-motivating. And that's why I feel like sometimes I get into slumps. But people, whether they know it or not, it be little words of affirmation here and there that just light a fire up under me to be like, you know what? Let's go harder. Let's do something else different. I send a text group out to everybody on my team. Hey, we hitting up 7th Street tonight to do content. I need everybody to be there at 11 p.m. Like, it's little shit like that just make me, it sparks fire under me, and then I can spark fire under everybody else, and just, you know what I'm saying? So, like, little shit like that I really do appreciate. You know what I'm saying? For real, because it gets, a lot of people, when you see, everybody don't see your vision. And when I say everybody, it can be everybody even closest to you, to where it's like your lady, their family, things like that. And I'm not saying me specifically, but I'm using that as an example. Like, everybody don't see your vision, and they'll try to push you to do things that you don't want to do. Like, I've never hated on a 9-to-5. I respect motherfuckers that do a 9-to-5. You know what I'm saying? I've been a 9-to-5 nigga a lot in my life, mostly my life. So I understand it. At the end of the day, I'm pushing this right now, and that's something that I don't want to put myself back into unless I have to, which I totally understand. At the end of the day, it's never nothing wrong with that. If I was just a dad that worked hard to provide for his family, bro, I'm happy. I don't have to be no big time podcaster or entertainer or no shit like that. I don't have to be no big name or anything like that. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy with just providing and stuff like that for my people and holding it down. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. So, I guess right now, My last and final question is: what's next for Big Eli Easy World? Like, where are you at right now in your process, and what else do you hope to really accomplish?
So my biggest thing that I'm focusing on right now is the brand Easy World, because I just did the business side with my aunt, because like I said, I wanted to umbrella Easy World so I can brand things under it under one LLC. So like thinking out loud, Easy World clothing brand, and just Big Eli in general. I wanted to umbrella it under all Easy World. You know what I'm saying? As one big thing. So my biggest thing is the clothing brand right now. I already got a couple mock-ups. I got my quotes. My 3 quotes is chaos bring change, chaos never looked this good. I think that's mostly like for the ladies and stuff like that. And the third one is it's in my notes. It's I have, like I say, I have, it's all kind of dealing with chaos, but you know what I'm saying. I have a couple mock-ups of how the shirt's gonna be. They're gonna be kind of like rock star style shirts, some sleeveless, some not. And I want to kind of just start rocking my own apparel and things like that, and eventually start selling that too. Securing 2 sponsors before the end of this year. I set myself a smaller goal. Like I just want to secure 2 sponsors for the podcast. Hopefully before the end of the year. That's on my list. So outside of growing the brand, continuing networking, and getting sponsors for the podcast, and hopefully growing that up way bigger by the end of the year. That's my main things for like just finishing off 2024 for Big Eli and Easy World. Mainly, yep.
And last but not least, if there's one thing that you want to be remembered by, by your children, what is one thing that you want your children to know about you?
That I always put them first, and anything that I've done, even if it looked like it was for me, is to build a platform and a legacy that they can live off of. Like I want that legacy to where it be like, you Big Eli's son, or you Big Eli's daughter. Oh yeah, your daddy was, he was this and that, all like in a positive light to where it motivates them. And they have something to show for it too. Like I want them to be able to go to YouTube when I'm not here, or if like something happened to me and be like, oh, my dad was doing this, or look up any content and be like, oh, my dad was doing this. And everything that I was doing was either in a positive light, or if you go through my social media and like everything that I was contributing and everything was doing was, he was in a good positive light. You have nothing negative to say, at the end of the day. But and something they can live off of. Like I said, I make sure I pay my insurance and stuff like that all the time. Because if something happened, because we live in a crazy world, I want my babies taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to have stuff I didn't. Because, unfortunately, when I lost my mom, we didn't have no fund or nothing set up for like if that was to happen, because it happened out the blue. So I just want to make sure, even like I said, at the age I'm at now, I've already taken them precautions to make sure that they straight, if something ever happened to me, they got money waiting for them at 18 that can help start their business, help them chase their dreams, help them choose their own path. They're not forced into a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on choosing your own path. And that's the mode I'm in right now. And I just want them to always realize, hey, my dad wanted me to always choose my path and what I wanted to do. So that's how I want to be remembered.
If people want to follow you, connect with you, where can they go to do so, my brother?
Everything is Easy Whirl. EAZY WHIRL. That's on TikTok, Instagram. I don't really be on Facebook, but if you do be on Facebook, Elijah Roussel. I don't mind putting the government out there. I ain't hiring from nobody. You feel me? But
he said I'm not a scammer.
You feel me? I'm not a scammer. I
pay taxes.
I pay my tax. I'm a good law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. You heard me? So, but yeah, man, y'all definitely follow my podcast page, Thinking Out Loud .podcast. Definitely check out that.
Very dope. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Is there anything that you want to talk about that we didn't talk about?
Man, I want to retire this jersey and put it in the glass. Cause I remember the first time I seen you with your Buffalo jersey on was when the first time I met you, and it's so crazy. This is a legendary jersey, bro. Every time I have a picture of you in my head, I think about this right here, bro. This is legendary. I feel like you want to put this motherfucker in the frame and hang this motherfucker in the goddamn bit. That's Cletus. That jersey spells like that. That's you. You feel me? Like that jersey is lit as hell. I ain't gonna lie, but I think that shit dope as hell.
Funny as hell.
No, real shit. I remember you're a collector, bro, and that's another thing I always thought was really dope, man. You be having so many pieces and stuff like that and everything. But if, like I said, asking you things, bro, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just ecstatic you're here. You know, I'm proud of the person you become too. How you take care of your responsibilities and you always putting other people first is such a selfless thing. Like I said, you put your family before yourself, brother. Like I said, you put yourself, you out there helping your people run the business and everything like that, making sure the family is good, even if it's putting your own self on hold. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're such a selfless human being. You deserve your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You deserve good things in life. You deserve nothing but prosperous things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I met you, brother, and I'm glad we went through the experiences we have because I felt like it made us closer and, you know, our bond as brothers a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful to have you in my life, and I'm blessed to have you here. And like I said, I just can't wait to see what the future holds. You know what I'm saying? For both of us, it's gonna be exciting.
Most definitely. I love you, my brother.
Love you too, gang.
You're tuned in to Talk Ain't Cheap. Y'all know slogan's not that deep. It's a vibe.